Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
And we're back. We're back. Another week. Another Kliq This. I have the wrestling podcast angle still, which is troubling me to no end. But you know what, Kev, of all weeks, to have my wrestler podcast close-up angle here, it's a good week because there was an onslaught of wrestling this weekend. And Jelly Roll, too.
I thought Jelly Roll did a good job.
He did. I have questions. I have some questions about when.
And I also think that it was, I like that Jelly Roll pushed Paul, and Paul, like everybody did their part.
Right.
Nobody was a mark. You know, oh, I'm a top guy, but I can't sell for a guy that sings. Oh man, fuck that. Just. Because my wife was sitting there watching it, and she was just like, why are these people on this show? I said, because there's people that listen to Jelly Roll and that follow, Logan Paul that aren't wrestling fans. It's like a cross-pollination.
Right.
Yeah.
And in that cross-promotion, on one of the late-night shows.
I think Fallon tonight.
It's Fallon, okay.
Well, it would be Fallon. Well, it's going to be Fallon Wednesday night, but I think Fallon is being not. No, it's not Fallon. I think it's Kimmel.
Kimmel.
Yeah, Kimmel's not going to be there tonight. And I think Jelly Roll is taking Kimmel's spot, and then he's bringing Orton on.
Right.
So,
which is awesome. I mean, that cross promotion,
and you continually get that kind of coverage. It's kind of like one of the stories this week was, after the Goldberg match, Bill was on. A couple days later, he was on a show.
Ariel Helwani.
Yeah, that's a fight show, right? Fight Network, whatever.
Yeah.
And he was pissed over the fact that he got cut short on his promo, and I'm sure that when if I went home and I listened to some of the people's comments on it, and it's always these motherfuckers, man, that have never been in the ring, have never done anything in their life except comment on wrestling. That's what they do. And
what are they saying though? Because
they're
most
saying,
of the world hasn't been in the ring.
Bill. If I would have had that send off, I would have been happy with just that. How do you know? You never even had a fucking match. How do you know after fucking all these years that send-off would appease you? Dude, you're just fucking happy jacking off talking about this shit. Like, shut the fuck up. You're nobody. And on top of that, Bill didn't wake up one morning at 12 years old and go, I want to be a pro wrestler. Bill tore his groin off the bone playing for the Rams and said, what am I going to do now? How about wrestling?
Well, let me ask you a few things here. There's a couple of things that we have to talk about. I want to talk about the Jelly Roll celebrity thing, but since we're on Bill, it's Bill was only cut off if it was planned for him to speak for 10 minutes after the match. If it wasn't explicitly scheduled and there was time in the Peacock/NBC world for that, and he was given that, and everyone was going to come in the ring and it was going to be televised, yet then he was cut off for sure. But how much of what went on was impromptu or longer than what was planned, and that's just how the show wound down? Am I wrong in saying that?
Well,
I've never been in the ring. Can I say that?
Well, I mean, you can say whatever you want.
Thank you.
Because you're allowed your opinion. But my whole thing is, we're in a universe now that, okay, the crowd that watched it live on NBC and live on Peacock, that's great. That audience, okay, so you lost that audience. You didn't lose the internet audience.
Right.
You know, you didn't lose. I'm sure Peacock has the ability to continue to run since they have the WWE fucking programming on Peacock. I'm sure that if you went back and watched it, but I don't know because it wasn't. I don't know.
I'll tell you where it is, though. I know what you're saying, but I believe I watched that 10-minute segment on WWE, on WWE's YouTube channel.
Right.
So they put it out as a separate, like, here, Bill Goldberg's goodbye speech. Steve confirmed that for me, but that's where I think I watched that.
And the thing
so no one's hiding it.
You're going to get the coverage. I know how much, we talked, especially before he went down to Medellin, we talked.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it is on WWE's site. Okay.
And he was talking about, he was beat up, and he was having a hard time even just training, getting ready for the match. And I told him, I said, the stem cells have done wonders for me. And so he went down and got the stem cells, which I know that he went down to BioAccelerator. I think he went down. Shortly after I did, a couple months after I did, and I think that he put it over. That was the turning point that he was able to get through that. But I think that he put so much into it. I know he trained with a mixed martial arts trainer. I know he was hitting bags and hitting gloves and pads, and I know that he put as much as he could into it. But I think the hardest thing for an athlete, especially for an athlete that works in professional wrestling, is in your mind, you still think you got it. And then you get out there and all of a sudden you're just like, wow, I don't remember running on this canvas equating to running on the beach. Everything's slower. Everything's, your timing's off. So, and the wrestlers that commented on Bill's match will all say the same thing. There's nothing you can do to get ready for a match besides get on the canvas.
Have a match, right? Yeah.
And if you're dinged up, just as beat up as my body is and where I've gotten it since the stem cells and my training and my nutrition and I'm not drinking and all the things I did, man, the last thing I want to do is fucking throw my body onto that fucking plywood, Yeah. And take bumps. It's just like, that's the last thing on earth I want to do. And it's just like, I don't give a fuck if you run the ropes. I don't give a fuck if you tussle around. You're not going to go out there and feed somebody a 5-bump comeback
Yeah.
in a fucking Quonset hut with nobody in it at 58 years old.
When you watched the match, did you sense Bill? You might see things I don't. Did you sense he was having a tough time at certain points?
I thought his cardio was good.
Right. Me too.
I felt it. I mean, he wasn't like you can always tell because when they sell, they heave. If they're blown up, and he wasn't heaving.
Right.
So his cardio was his. I mean, and Bill. I mean, Bill's still a big fucking dude.
Yeah.
You know, but Bill's lost a lot of leg size because Bill. People don't know this, but Bill was. You know, he's got property, and it's not like Bill has hands that work his property. Bill gets up with his wife, and they feed the llamas, and they feed the this and that, and I mean they put hours into running this ranch that he's got in Texas. And I don't know how long ago it was, but I know that Bill was had some trees down after a storm and caught a knot, and then it happened to Scotty Steiner too, and the chainsaw kicked back and got him in the leg. So he had that injury on top of everything else, you know, which would be scar tissue. And, you know, it's just, you know, to me, I thought he did a really solid job. I think that kudos to Gunther because Gunther kept him close. And I could see Gunther, you could tell, like, Gunther would put his head against his and looked like he was putting him in a hold, but was, you know, they were working their way through things, and I thought the first time he set him up and Gunther rolled, the people came because they knew that if fucking Bill hit him with the spear, it was over. So you had him psychology wise where you wanted him.
Right.
Because it was like everybody that watched the Paul Tyson fight. We knew if Tyson hit him with a hook, he'd drop him.
Right.
You know, if he hit him with that left hook, he'd drop him. Until we found out later on that if he would have dropped him in the first round, he would have got paid. It was, you know, the longer he went, the more he got paid, and lo and behold, he went the distance and just happened to lose a decision. Wow. But then Bill did the tackle into the barricade.
Right.
And that was solid. So, I mean,
I thought it accomplished exactly what it should have accomplished. I don't think anybody was that it didn't meet their expectations. It was a specialty match on this card.
Well, once he speared Robinson, I thought for sure that Bill would spear Gunther and then jackhammer him and then get the count, like
wait for the count,
hook the leg, and then it'd be 1, 2, 3. Should have beat him, and then, you know, as the other referee slides in, 1, 2, kicks out, and then you go home from there. So that, I mean, I would have changed that up, but that's too predictable. The fact that Bill was sold a knee, I would have fucking crumbled, but then you can't protect the guy. You know, I would have, you know, if you had some way that you could go for the jackhammer and get out of it, but go down selling the knee, and then from that, almost like a double count out, then have Bill crawl over, cover 1, 2, kick out, go for something, and have Gunther go behind him. But I like the fact that Bill fought. It wasn't like Gunther got him away from the ropes, got him up and seated, and then sunk it in. But I think Gunther, one of the things I'll say is, you know, Gunther, whatever you want to call him. I think he prefers Gunther. He doesn't lock that that hold in deep. Like he's not choking you know what I mean? It's not,
Right.
he's not snugging anybody.
Okay.
You know, I noticed that with Uso. I noticed that with Bill. I mean, it's on, and but that's, I mean, it's the whole fucking, it's a work, guys. Like they went out and they told a story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and honestly, unless I'm in it, I probably won't know the snugness of the sleeper. Unless I'm spinning my entire head under his arm, but like unless I'm in it as a fan,
I can see where there's
a little
space.
Daylight there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I mean, when you see somebody snug somebody in one of those UFC fights, I mean, it's like,
yeah.
And there's times, man, those fucking, I remember watching Frank Mir years ago, the fucking get the rear naked, and somehow, man, he got this hand up and through, and I was just like, how he probably didn't have oxygen for 30 seconds, It's just like how he was able to get out of that was amazing. But
all this talk about the sleeper, Kevin, it's making me realize that sometimes I wish I had Gunther here to help put me to sleep, because it's difficult for me to fall asleep at night.
You don't have any tapes on my matches?
Yeah. That's good. A little self-effacing humor for the, but I have melatonin coming. This shit doesn't work. We know this. ASMR videos I'll sit on the phone, but I feel like that's more of a stimulant. What am I going to buy? An adult coloring book, for fuck's sake? Like, and it's bad enough I'm wearing the sleep apnea mask now. I look like something that landed from a 1950s science fiction film. But coming into my life as the crowd parted, like a woman in a flowing white dress, is INDACLOUD, Kevin. INDACLOUD. If you work hard, you deal with life, sometimes you're a little stressed out, maybe you can't, maybe it's a sleeping issue like I have, or you just need an escape. INDACLOUD has come into your life. Gummies, flour, or pre-rolls. All federally legal and serious fun, and it's just a few clicks away for you. The sleep gummy I'm talking about that I'm in love with is the Bliss Sleep Gummy, Kevin. I know you've heard of it.
My wife takes one every night.
Yeah, and that was a 3 milligram.
If it's the 3 milligram one, that's when she takes.
Just a little rocking you to sleep. If you're over 21, then join this conversation and go to indacloud.co. Use the code Kliq, K-L-I-Q. You're getting 25% off plus free shipping on your first order. That's indacloud.co, code Kliq, K-L-I-Q, for that 25% off and free shipping.
I got to give you a buckwheat look on the 25% off.
Boing. Yeah, put a sound effect in there, Steve. Over 50,000 people have already chosen INDACLOUD, and they're feeling good because of it. So again, if you're over 21, now's the chance to float above your stress, if that's what you're dealing with, or get yourself to sleep, or just feel good. INDACLOUD is giving all new customers the 25% off plus the free shipping. Use the code Kliq, K-L-I-Q. Click it. We'll have a link in the show, link here, or just go on it on your phone, whatever you. INDACLOUD.co. Code is Kliq, K-L-I-Q. Order now, fill out a quick survey, support our show. That's the best. Tell them it's the best part of your week, because you know it is. Thank you, INDACLOUD, for coming into my life. Kev, Jelly Roll we talked about, and that Paul did his job, taking the bump when he got shoved. When people from the outside come in, big stars, that's kind of the implicit agreement in the company that you can't make them look shitty, right? They're not a wrestler.
Well, you watched that, right?
Yeah.
Did you see how much weight he's dropped?
Yeah, actually, I did, and
mean,
I thought maybe it was just because he was around a bunch of wrestlers. He looked
no,
smaller,
that's
but-
because he's taking this seriously. I mean,
Right.
you know, from everything I've heard and media-wise is like, you know, he fucked around and wasted a lot of time sitting in prison.
Mhm.
And yeah,
That's crazy, man. Look at that.
that's so you can sell, you know, you can sell. I guarantee he hits her with one of those mitts, man. He'd do some damage. And if he's done time, he ain't no bitch. So it's like, I really enjoyed it. I liked his, you know, the thing is, man, it's that you can go over that spot 73 times during the, you know, the course of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're out there and that building's full and
Yeah.
you know that, like, there's nothing worse than turning too soon because you don't have the experience to feel the vibration of feet behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, like, you're not smart enough to have your hand on the rope, so as the person goes through the rope on the other side, you get that vibration.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know those little things yet, and a lot of people never do. And it's like, and then I think to me, my MVP right now is Drew, because Drew continually does the favor to progress the storyline, and he doesn't bitch about it. He just does his job. He looks like $1 million.
Yeah.
Anytime, yeah. I mean, that's. I'll guarantee you, Jelly Roll will have that somewhere on his wall.
Yeah. That's a great shot.
Yeah.
The yeah, that's a good point. When you can rehearse something, and it's no different than theater or film. I can liken it to when you're sitting in your trailer and you get the little sides, right, to what you're doing that day, and you go over it and you've read it at home. But when you're standing on the set, even you do a walkthrough on the set, but when you shoot and it goes quiet, speed marker, and you can hear a fucking pin drop. It's like, whoa. And you're supposed to be you're supposed to be in the zone somewhere.
It's always great right there to just go line.
Start the scene with line.
Line? What were you doing? Remember when they used to set up before all the fucking, reds and everything else? It's like, there'd be two fucking guys fucking with some 1K with a fucking screen for 14 hours over in the corner, and you'd be just sitting in your chair going, what the fuck? Finally be your turn. And, you'd sit there, you got one paragraph. You went over it for 12 minutes.
You said it every way you possibly emphasized,
and now it's
every
time,
other word.
Now it's time to do it,
No.
and you're like, fucking, you just go...
But sometimes that's almost better because you're not, it's
in the
delivery.
longest yard. There's a scene with me and Nelly, and he pulls the book out, and I'm looking through at him, and it's just turnaround one shots, and my line is, read any good books lately, convict? And fucking, he pulled that thing open. And I just looked at him. I said, "Fucking Nelly!" I just was like, "Fuck!" They took so long to get us ready for that.
Yeah.
And so
I was doing a film called, I think it ended up being called Graduation Day, about college. It was about a college fraternity, and so we were shooting up in Bryn Mawr College, and the shot is me. I was the head of the fraternity, so I'm walking down the corridor, and I open a door, and I have a quick exchange with a kid in the room behind the desk. So the camera's behind me for the walk down the hall. Then it kind of goes to the side, and it's an over the shoulder of what I see. So we do the walkthrough. You know, for the walkthrough, everyone's looking at the monitor. The lighting guys looking at the monitor for lighting, the makeup people. So the hair and makeup people are looking at the monitor. We do a walkthrough, and we're ready to shoot. I come back to my mark. They're going through, waiting for speed. He runs up behind me with a Sharpie, because I guess I was losing my hair a little at the time. And he colors the top of my head. He's going, okay, go ahead, just go do it. Because I guess he saw in the shot from behind me that there was a little skin showing. So he doesn't tell me, hold on a second. He doesn't stop the set. He takes a fucking Sharpie, colors my head, and then they say action. And I just walk down.
He couldn't have used fucking little mascara?
Well, something. But I guess he didn't have, he I guess had it all on the side or whatever. He only had a second, and he colored my head.
Oh, that's turning around and fucking bitch slapped him.
If I was a lesser man, he might have gotten one. Or maybe more of a man. Kev, the Naked Gun was center of the ring for Saturday night's main event. It's on the hockey boards. Football stadiums have always around the perimeter had stuff. They do the digital placement like in the soccer games and maybe in the NFL now, right? I can't remember. In the end zones, maybe. Why did it take so long for wrestling to realize there's a whole revenue stream and you don't have to cut away from a match? You put it right there.
It took a long time, number one, to go public, to take a private company public.
Yeah.
And then it became, well, we've always done it this way.
Just because?
I mean, do you know how many fucking beer people they went after to sponsor Austin and nobody would touch it?
Oh, wow.
You know what? You would have had a line nowadays. I mean, it would have been like, whoever.
Oh my God, Bud would have been. He used to call it Steve Weiser, right?
I know, but it'd be Modella. It would be whoever. I mean, and it would be a year commitment. And beer and Steve, but we couldn't even. We couldn't. Now Steve would use his own beer.
But back then it wasn't Steve that was hesitant. You're saying that it was management that didn't.
But it was also the stigma of wrestling. It took Dwayne making it when Dwayne became the number one box office star,
mm-hmm.
and then Cena followed him. And then Batista is everywhere, and Batista is a. I'll tell you, Batista's a really solid actor.
Right.
And Cena is. I saw Cena in something the other day, and I was just like, he's gotten so much better. And the thing, I've seen Cena do some comedies earlier, and I was just like, Cena has the I don't give a fuck. But Batista, to me, like everything Batista does is, because he's a real character actor. He's not like, you look at him and yes, Batista, but he's always got a different look.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
I was looking at the ads and I'm like, why the hell did it take so long for wrestling to adopt this? And I remember the first time I saw it. Was Prime the first one? I think Prime was the first one. Center of the ring.
But that was Logan Paul's.
Right. But when I saw it, it was different, jarring, unsettling, whatever adjective you want to use. But it made so much sense. And now I don't even see it, which I guess a bad thing. I see it, I don't notice it.
But I think it's the fact that you're dealing with a company like Endeavor.
Mm.
You're not dealing with a wrestling company. You're dealing with a flat-out entertainment company.
Nobody in wrestling here, WCW, Mid-South, the Carolinas, Texas, no one could go, you know what, why don't we sell the middle of the ring to the Chevy dealership or whoever?
I tried to get Budweiser. Budweiser was aboard, and Vince wanted nothing to do with it. He said our competition is with Disney. Not we don't need Budweiser. Like that's not our demographic. And I'm
Wow.
like, okay.
Huh. Okay.
So it's just, it's like anything else.
What a machine to manage, Kevin. What a
Ugh.
machine. It used to be, in 1980, if you were running a company, the biggest decisions you had were who's going over, who's getting a belt, and when should they lose it? And some TV, and maybe a TV contract.
Even inside of that is who do we smarten up? Like it was so kayfabe. Like, if angles were kept within 3 people.
Oh, keep protecting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But look, every decision now. You
Did
talked
you-
about the cross promotion with Jelly Roll, right? So you've got that coming up this week. So last week on Saturday, you've got to consider him, what happens that night. There's going to be a TV appearance next week, all intertwined.
You got to make sure the B-roll is solid.
You want to show clips. You're going to show that
Absolutely.
shit on network late night. Everything is so intertwined. I can't imagine.
Pushing, and all this is pushing into SummerSlam.
Yeah, I mean, it was just getting ready for the next card at the Garden or whatever. And then when pay-per-view came, that was a little more
Well,
complicated.
back then
'cause you
there were
but
4 pay-per-views.
There were 4, right? WWE, yeah.
And
there
they
were 4.
were in basketball, hockey arenas. They weren't in fucking football stadiums.
Yeah.
It's just as anything, as social media has grown. I forget. God, I saw a number the other day of how many billion, fucking impressions. One of the things, but it was like before they went off the air, there was over 1 billion impressions on one of the clips. I forget which one it was. It's 1 billion, man.
There was an article in the Times yesterday in the business section about Netflix.
That's 179th of the Homeland Security budget next year.
That's what we're going to be over by in 2 months.
No, we're already over.
What do we got, 2 months?
We're already over 1 billion right now.
There was a piece in the Times yesterday about Netflix and Netflix talking about its chief competitors, and Netflix and the analysts they were talking to consider not Amazon, not Disney, not Hulu, this YouTube as their number 1 competitor. And they kind of put each other down when the CEOs speak publicly and say we look at YouTube. The guy from Netflix, his name's escaping me, said, YouTube's powerful. The number of impressions of it. He goes, we looked at it as our AAA. People put their content up there, and when we think someone's ready to go pro, they can come to Netflix. But when you look at the numbers, it's so impressive what YouTube does. So yeah, the streaming.
Isn't Netflix like? God, I saw their stock price the other day. Their stock price was like maybe 1,200 and something.
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when Netflix was $78.
Yeah, $12.50. There you go. $12.50. That was when you used to have to mail the DVD back. You have to throw the DVD in every 2
I
days.
just got another thing where they want to jack my shit up again. Email today.
Well, we got to make that quarter, Kev. We got to beat that quarter. I don't know why I put a Southern accent on it. It didn't really need one. But so a lot of folks listen and watch, and we hear you, like Michael C. Scotland, who wrote in and said, or posted, I only watch this podcast, no others, because it's authentic. Keep doing what you are doing, guys. Michael, we will. John Hedgeland said $190 million for charity. The Ozzy Sabbath show raised. As a lifelong Ozzy fan, I was happy he got the chance to say a last goodbye along with Sabbath. I did not know that was the number. That's impressive. That they put that in the bank. Kev, that clip we talked about last week of the isolated Ozzy vocal for "Mama, I'm Coming Home." I had the same reaction you did when I heard it. It's getting a lot of play as being a beautiful and heartfelt moment that he was having.
When I saw it, the verbiage underneath it basically was, this is how much his music has meant to him throughout. I mean, it's like you don't fucking sing in the bathroom and go, oh, it's, you know what, man? This is the exact same thing as Bill Goldberg's going through when he's trying to pull that old, you know, Nitro Goldberg out of the bag. And here's Ozzy trying to, you know, pull out his Sabbath days. I mean, it's, you know, it's, and then you see Rick Springfield, and he sounds just like he did, and looks better than he did. And
Looks like he might be able to go with Goldberg.
He's 76 years old, so
yeah.
You know, you're like Crosby's voice is still great. He hasn't passed yet, has he?
David Crosby?
Yeah.
This is one of those dead or alives, because we all know he should have a long time ago from the drug use. He passed away, but pretty recently, right? I'm going to say last 3 years. Yeah. Okay.
But his voice up until he passed was just like an angel, man. There's certain people that just they don't lose it.
Yeah.
I was listening to on Sirius. I was listening to Sinatra. I think Sinatra's Channel 70. And I was listening to Sinatra. It was live. And I was just like, I was just driving to the gym listening to him. And it was Blue Heaven. And I was just like, wow. Like, I wonder how old because you can hear it. He can't, you know.
Yeah.
Like they throw a French horn in on a high, and, you know, it's like everything's, but he's kind of just can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Big ups to the Ozzy camp for raising $190 million for charity on that event. That's great. Now, when I saw that, I heard they sent it through Cash App, Kev. Cash App. The new app, new to me, on my phone, that lets you send and receive cash with friends, with the benefits of Cash App. Let's just go through some of these here. You ever get an overdraft fee, okay, from your bank account back in the day? What was that fee like? Maybe your first job, your first paycheck, had to wait a couple of days when you cash your check for it to show up in the bank, right? If you do direct deposit on Cash App, you can get your money up to 2 days earlier than some banks. Cash App does more than you think when we talk about services that allow you to send money, okay? When it comes to having your back and making sure your money stays your money, this is what they're specialists in. If your direct deposit is at least $300 in paychecks each month, and you use the Cash App card for purchases, you can unlock up to $200 in free overdraft coverage. Okay, if you overdraft unexpectedly, there are no hidden fees. Manage your money on your terms, okay, and take advantage of this free overdraft coverage up to $200 on Cash App today. And of course, yeah, the basics of sending money to a friend safely and instantly. That's the magic. For a limited time only, listen to this deal. It's insane. New Cash App customers can use our exclusive code, which is Kliq10. It's right there. KLIQ 10. And you can earn some additional cash, okay? If you use the referral code in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Send them 5, get 10. That's a good deal. Not even Buffett can guarantee that. Terms apply, okay? That's the Cash App. Cash App. Okay. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. So keep in mind, banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners, prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC, direct deposits, roundups, overdraft coverage, and discounts provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. Thank you, Cash App, for having my back. Some more feedback from last week's show. Jay Knott. So wait, no, let's go back. Sorry, I missed one here. Han Solo 374. My apologies if I overstepped with my concern over the awkward moment last week. Came purely from the heart. But yeah, I respect everything is left in, and that's why I love the show and both of you. All right, Han Solo, you heard us explain last week.
It's the only way to get them pregnant.
Leave it in.
I'll leave it in.
The 1BG says, anyone else feel like it's all matches and no story lately? Gotta have that balance. Feels like every pay-per-view just leans on the bangers. Raw felt the same since Mania. Wish we'd had more variety in the angles instead of just let's wrestle, see you next month. Naomi versus Jade was a nice change of pace. That'll be hot as that plays out, right? Naomi and Jade and Bianca.
But I mean, at the same time, when the Raw roster is like the Detroit defense, and you got one guy that started the season still playing in the 11th game, it's like, I mean, to look at the amount of people that have went down.
Yeah.
And then, we just had Seth. Seth is the latest.
So let me ask you about Seth. There are very divergent opinions out there and theories about Seth, and I'm not sure why. Like I just usually take an injury at face value. Someone got hurt, and there's a lot of he's not as hurt or he's not hurt, that this is going to be something they're tying in to have him run in and cash in. There's a lot of speculation around Seth's leg injury. What are your impressions? Do you feel any of this is justified, or is this just people wasting time on podcasts?
I mean, yeah, it would definitely. So if your psychology is, I'm going to take a loss on Saturday night's main event to LA Knight to set up my injury so I can cash in my money in the bank and hopefully win a championship. And I'm saying that I'm the innovator and I'm the future of this company. But the way you do that is to do a job to LA Knight.
Okay, what if he was injured prior?
He didn't look injured. He didn't look injured the prior 8 minutes before that.
I have to go back and watch in this context now, see if there's any inadvertent selling of the.
He wouldn't have been able to do the first spring board from the other side.
But not as severely injured. So maybe there's been a nagging something that he's got to have worked on. So you do this.
You don't have a knee injury and do anything like that.
What do you know about knee injuries?
Yeah, exactly. What would I fucking know about it? It's just, he's torn he's injured the one MCL I know twice.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking, the only person that I've actually got him beat, but the only person that could be at this panel with me and probably add to it would be Rey Mysterio. Is like, once you start getting compound knee injuries, and each time you take a piece of that cartilage between the two bones, I mean, if he's injured his MCL again, there's only so many. If he tore it, like, there's only so many times that you can, like this shoulder that they just reattached.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's Like my bicep, when I tore this bicep, they couldn't pull it up and put it where you would insert it up in my shoulder. It's inserted now right here in my front of my delt. So
there's a limitation on how many times they can reattach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's highly unlikely.
I don't see an upside to number one. He did a job, and he did it right after the move.
Yeah.
So, and it was too weird. She never did this, the referee.
To indicate it's a legit injury. You're crossing your arms. Yeah,
she never crossed her arms, is legit, but he didn't probably give her the fucking Iggy that he was hurt because he turned to Paul first. In the meantime, LA Knight's going over. LA Knight doesn't fucking have any idea. Like, why do you stop? Why don't you just put, you know what I mean? Like, why would he stop? He went over to continue the match, and then there was definitely some verbiage that was handled there where he took a walk, and he kind of seemed pissed off.
Right.
And
then
so
here's the injury. I think we should examine this a little bit. Right. Maybe there's something in the moment that we'll be able to see. This is
that's not it.
No, that's not it. It's when he
it's a springboard.
Yeah. Right.
I tell you what though. Yeah, all this looks like somebody that's definitely favoring a knee.
Well, what if the injury is to the neck, the shoulder?
It's not his neck.
Needed the time off. Jane Nash. I would like to know what Nash thinks about the WWE saying that Goldberg is undefeated in the WWE WCW at 173-0. I remember Nash beating Goldberg for the championship and broke that streak. It was all over Saturday Night's Main Event that Goldberg has never been beaten. Does Nash know that WWE is pushing that? And if so, what does he think about it? I remember Nash beating Goldberg, and I know other fans do too. Older fans do too. Well, everyone does because it was...
There were other people that beat Bill besides me.
But you're inexorably linked because of that streak.
You know what?
To his career.
I won't lose any sleep over not getting any credit. You know. So you're the one that broke the fake streak.
The fakes.
You're the guy that beat the guy
one that they all decided should win.
Yeah, you're the guy. You're the guy that beat the guy that was 173-0 that had a 90-day run.
Do you say I won the title, Kev? Do you use that terminology, or do you say they gave me the title?
I usually say I went over.
Okay. It's acceptable.
They'll say so-and-so match. And I'll say, did I go over? And I'll say, what do you mean? I'll say, did I win? And I'll say, yeah. I say, I don't remember it.
Like, I want Stallone. Does Stallone say, when I beat Apollo Creed? Does he say when I won the... Well, actually, he didn't beat him till 2, right? He lost in 1. Does he say when I beat Apollo Creed? Does he say when I won the title? Or is it okay for that to be fiction, but for some reason wrestling needs to...
I just watched...
Wrestlers need to retain a little bit of that.
I watched Ballerina the other night. I didn't have any problem fucking when Keanu Reeves was blocking 9mm shots with his suit coat. So... because they had expressed that the Kevlar suit in John Wick 2. So it's like Scott Hall says it best. Hey, buddy, you do know that Schwarzenegger's not really a Terminator, right?
Right, yeah.
Like
some wrestlers don't, or they do, but they like to maybe continue to propagate kayfabe. They'll sit there and they'll tell you everything else about their life.
I've
Everything's
never-
a work, but when it comes to the title, I'm a 3-time champion. But I guess technically they are. Someone gave them the belt 3 times.
But there's more to it than. It's not like you go to TV and there's a bingo ball thing and they spin it and pull one out and they go, Kevin Nash.
You're being entrusted with something
All right.
for a reason. I get that. I get that.
So
But you didn't win anything.
hopefully a better payday nowadays. I mean, fuck, that was when I became champion. I was hoping that it equated to more dollars until Alexander Monday'd my way into the office and found out that on the house shows that I was on top. Brett and Undertaker were making the same as I was.
Was that the phone call to JJ?
No,
Oh, all right.
no, that was
That was the payday with Sean, right?
That was the payday with Taker at WrestleMania after I already gave my notice.
Oh.
And JJ came by Universal Studios where we were doing Nitro. He said, "Yeah." I says, we were talking. He goes, Taker got $50,000 bonus. I said, "He did?" I said, "He looked me right in the eyes and promised me I'd get paid the exact same." So I just held that for a couple of years, and then when it was time for us to come back, and I said,
No,
"Right."
I think I'm thinking of the one when for some reason I thought it was Sean on a pay-per-view. Found out what he made.
No, that was Survivor Series.
They're talking.
Yeah, we said to Sean, we said, "What'd you make?" He said, 75. We said, "Fucking, are you ribbing?" He goes, "No, I made 75. Sean was in the match for 2 minutes. Me and Scott worked like 25. We both made 25 grand. I fucking called JJ. I said, "This is fucking bullshit." I said, "I won't be on the next plane."
And Vince worked like he didn't know, right?
No, but, "Hey, Big D!"
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, fucking Scott and Nash both got checks for $50K.
Did you get a FedEx the next day?
It took a couple of days.
Yeah, okay.
They probably sent it snail mail back then because they didn't want to drop the $20.
The extra money.
Yeah, they probably extracted it. It was probably 49,000 and change.
We'll show him. Put a stamp on it.
Yeah, tell them that we don't just FedEx for free around here.
Mike M. I love that Kevin stood up for Taker for putting his podcast under the WWE banner. Whether you like it or not, the wrestling business is about making money first, then friends. I don't know, Kev, if you're a money first, then friends. You had some good friends while you were making money. You had the friends before you were making the money.
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure.
the old saying is it's called show business, not show friends.
Right.
So, put it this way. Kevin Nash would have never gotten into a ring. Now, you're going to break in, you have to do that. But that first night that I went to Clash of Champions in North Carolina and walked to the ring and had our match and walked back, if I would not have got paid at the end of that week, you would never see me again. So.
All right. Very good. Folks, the people in the live audience here got here by going to KliqThisTV.com. What is that? That's a way to join the 11 Soft Club. Come in here, watch the pre-show, watch the taping of this, ask questions. You get it a little earlier than everyone else. You'll get it Friday. You'll get it without commercials. So go to KliqThisTV.com. Liette Belanger. Hello, guys. Happy to catch you because I'm in my treatment of chemo, and I listen to you make my week. So you listen while you get your treatments. That's excellent. See, we...
Hope you're doing well, my friend.
Yeah, hang in there. Let us know how it's going.
I know my mom, when my mom was in chemo, That was a rough time.
Yeah, not fun.
No.
But we're glad we can make it a little better. Maybe the clinic that you're in, can you mention maybe they should pipe it over the, and pay us, of course, and pipe it in over the speaker for
How
everyone
about
to
let's
enjoy?
just wish him well?
No? I'm
How about we
always,
just wish him well?
oh, I'm always thinking about business. We could do both.
Yama.
So, and of course, the Kliq This Shop is open. KliqThisShop.com. Go get your wares. I know stuff is selling. I see the notifications.
Did you get a bill or something this week? Come due or?
Oh, yeah, just scrambling to me.
Jeez.
We got to put it together.
If your wife and kids are hostage, blink twice.
And listen, to prevent that from happening, you need a stop box right by the bedside, folks, or in a drawer or somewhere. Stop box, one of ours, if you're thinking about hostages, or just the times we're in right now, tenuous times, then you're going to want something for your firearm that is both safe, but also allows it to be accessible. It's that
You
peace
could
of
be on
mind.
somebody's hit list. I mean, you could actually have like Tabasco sauce in your refrigerator.
Yeah, what the hell are you talking about? I like the Cholula sauce, but what do you mean?
Eating Mexican food, that kind of whole thing.
Oh, right.
Ice.
Oh, okay, we're going there.
I thought
Yeah, make sure you know who's banging on the door first, I guess. But let's be real, Kev. You're a handgun owner. Owning a handgun for self-defense, it comes with serious responsibility. You want the security for when it matters most.
I'll be right back. Keep going. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. He's going to go make sure that his stop box is secured right now. You don't want it exposed. You don't want it vulnerable to kids, guests, whoever. So this is a problem that STOPBOX USA has solved. They've nailed it. I often show you by opening in a second's time how easy it is and how secure it is. It is with that finger combination that you said. That is all by touch, no keys. Can you imagine fumbling with a key in the darkness in the middle of the night if you need protection quickly? And I don't mean a condom. Or worse still, the keypad. Imagine a dead battery in a locker. Guys, STOPBOX USA. It's no keys, no codes, no apps. It's a patented 5-button locking system that responds only to your unique input. Fast, intuitive, built from muscle memory. You're not even thinking. You could do it a second after waking up. Reach over, put your hand in the configuration that you set. Bang, it's open. With STOPBOX Pro, you don't have to trade safety for speed. I wish I had it with me here. I have it in my studio as I show you every week. And you can travel with peace of mind because STOPBOX Pro is TSA compliant. How about that? So, and for a limited time only, our listeners are getting a crazy deal with STOPBOX. Get 10% off your entire order when you use the code NASH, N-A-S-H, okay? And for even better savings, shop your bundles for the best deals on the best-selling products, okay? You got to go there and check it out. Go to stopboxusa.com/Nash, okay? Check it out and discover a better way to balance security and readiness with STOPBOX.
So I wanted to go because I'm down at the studio.
Yeah.
And I just wanted people to know that this Desert Eagle will fit in the STOPBOX.
Yeah.
So
that fucking, I held that. And I needed both hands and a small.
Do you know how many times I've heard that?
To rest of the, exactly. I leave the goalie out of the net way too much on this show. And the bullet was, what were those? What did you
50
have?
cals.
50s, right?
This thing, man, I've got to oil this thing badly.
I've heard that before. Kev, I not only Saturday night's main event, which we touched on a little bit, I did watch Raw as well.
I watched Raw.
And I felt like after we were talking about this, I'm not saying people are listening in power, but I feel like Bron got his night. Ultimately, he didn't go over in the final match with Punk. But with that gauntlet, and he looked great with that gauntlet match. I thought it was Bron's coming out. They put him on the mic the week before, and then they had him in that gauntlet match. I thought that was Bron's night. And the words were uttered, Kevin, by Paul Heyman. He's a Steiner.
I love that. Love that.
Yeah. How did you feel watching Bron?
He's a stud, man.
Yeah. Are they using him to the capacity they should? I was a little critical a couple of weeks ago as I said, yeah, they're doing this barking dog bodyguard. He's never going to go anywhere, but that's changed.
You know, it's one of those things where, you know, people will look back in retrospect and say, you know, like, if this and this and this wouldn't have happened, he wouldn't have got, you know, if Vince wouldn't have had the feds up his ass on the steroid thing, I would not have been pushed the way I was.
Well, but in any circumstance, in any business, there's a million things happening at once, and the weather affects outcome. Yeah, sure. But
you're not talking weather. You're in arena. This is you.
Well, I'm saying forces outside of you going on can affect outcomes.
Yeah, but this is going back to the people that are saying, "Oh, it's probably nothing. He'll be back next week to cash in his money in the." No, this is getting somebody in position to take a position that's not going to be fulfilled for a while.
You're referencing Seth.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think they're going to know what they have with the amount of injuries he's had. If it's, like I said, if it's the same knee until you get in there. Mm-hmm. There's so many times in the MRI, I've had a doctor look at me and go, "This is nothing, man. You're going to be out. I'll be in and out in an hour and 15." And then 4 hours later, I wake up and they're like, "Jesus, dude, you hand grenaded that thing."
All right, so where does this leave Bronson Reed? He'll be still in the mix.
He's, and if nothing else, if they're heels, I mean, if I'm just going to call him Steiner now because that's
Heyman's giving you implicit permission to do that. So yeah.
So Bronson Steiner, him and his partner now could easily win the tag titles while they wait for something else to come, you know. Now you got, you know, I mean, why not? Never hurts when a guy cuts a promo when he's holding gold.
Yeah.
And they're dominating that, you know, and I think the tag thing needs a shake-up anyway.
Right.
So.
Okay. So yeah, that's a good idea.
I also want to give a shout out to Raquel, who I thought really picked her game up. She was strong in Evolution, but I thought that she really worked strong on the tag match. I thought she dominated on the tag match on Netflix.
Well, let's put this out here and not be mysterious. You were in the news a little bit this week because she responded to you saying on this show that she's got to work big and she's got to make sure she's, you know, it's not bumping for anybody of any given size to establish herself.
I think the thing that I meant more than anything was she was like
bending, yeah.
Yeah, she was she just wasn't, and all of a sudden it's just like she worked big. And man, what a difference it made. Like she just dominated that match.
Yeah, she was on a show, and she replied and said, if Kevin Nash says I need to work big, then I need to listen, because he was big and cool. And so she appreciated, she did, and it saw results. So I was going to read a question later. The fans,
I'm gonna sit down with her at SummerSlam if I get a chance. I'm gonna teach her how to be lazy.
you're going to limit her, you're going to take what she does in the ring and chop it down to 5 essential moves. She could do a good hair flip.
I'm just telling you
like
right
you
now
had.
that there's just no reason why she needs to be bumping for little tiny people when she could
Right.
sell into the ropes. Her partner's tiny, both of them. When Liv comes back, she doesn't need to be. When she bumps, it should be, it should be Rhea or somebody of that caliber.
Right. Right. Or you said this also, like, or the third drop kick, you go down, or whatever it is. Punch.
I remember when I was at TNA and we were working. I don't know if it was me and Eric. I think it was me and Eric Young. We were working the Young Bucks, and we went on a little loop with them. We were just laying some stuff out in the back, and I said, right there, I said, I'll come in. I said, just I'm going to come at both of you, just with like a double close. I said, duck it. I said, when you turn around, double drop kick me. I'll take a bump and roll to the floor. And they're like, you'll bump? I said, yeah, I'll bump. Your shit looks good.
But it's a double drop kick.
Yeah, but also they're putting the drop kick at my chin.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like I used to bump for Kofi's drop kick because it was right at my chin.
Good point. Right. All these things to consider when you're 6'10".
But I thought she did a great job. I was proud of her.
Excellent. Good to see. Another thing happened, Kev, right before Roman came down, when his music hit. Bronson Reed was on his way to the top turnbuckle again to do a double tsunami on both of them who were laid out in the ring. And he gets the 2 steps, the music hits. The music hits, and he gets right down. And Roman's walking. If the music hit and he was charging the ring, you get down because maybe you don't have enough time. Again, the music hitting being enough to stop all action in the ring when they're trying to finish someone off. It annoys me. I've never worked, but I can still say it annoys me. I could sit in a restaurant and say that this souffle does not taste good. I'm not a chef, but I eat.
Yeah, but there's also, when you are eating food, you don't have a truck that's setting up shots. So,
you need a vacation.
They just they just don't want to.
You're talking about the TV truck, choosing the camera angles.
Well, yeah, because what they want to do is, when you bring Roman back, it's just like that's what they're basically selling you is the world stops. Now, I was in complete agreement with you the week before, because we'd seen those.
So you're saying the significance of
it being Roman
freezes everybody.
Plus, I think he was in those those look like brand new Jordans. I think those just came out. So just the fact that it's Roman in brand new Jordans,
seeing that from on the ramp.
Yeah, so I think Bronson from on top of the
the turnbuckle had a clear shot of the Jordans
the Jordans.
Yeah,
so he's like, he's got fucking some strong sneaker game on top of that.
Right.
Like I need to back the fuck down.
Right. You're right. You're right. I wasn't thinking that.
If you were eating sushi and it was kind of shitty, and then you kind of called the sushi chef over, but you looked down and he was rocking some sweet Jordans,
you probably would forget the complaint.
Yeah, you'd be like, just.
Right. And then I'd realize I'm not a sushi chef, so I really can't complain or be critical of the sushi because I've never made sushi myself. It's
You've
my
never made
favorite.
sushi?
No, I never have. I generally have other people do that for me at the restaurant. Yeah.
I'd make it at home.
Yeah. Well, I'll swing by. We could have some sushi.
You just gotta have the key to sushi is the rice.
The sticky rice. Do you use sugar? I'm surprised you put.
No,
What do you do?
I just use sushi rice.
But don't you have to get it to bind like that to be?
No,
You can.
now when you
Okay.
pay for $100 sushi rice,
Okay.
and you have it, and I have a Korean sushi rice cooker.
What's his name?
Exactly.
Three-way set for the SummerSlam, which I think could be a show stealer, which is Rhea, Naomi, and Io, right? Is set for SummerSlam. I think this is going to be a good three-way. I know there's a lot of three-ways. Adam Pearce loves the three-way. But this is one that I think will impress. Do you not agree?
I hate them. I mean, but it's just something that if any three girls can pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Trish had a good match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Yeah,
Trish
we had a lot of ladies over the weekend.
Trish
and Monday.
I didn't realize that the champ was a gymnast prior to.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't they say she was on what you call it? She was a teammate with what the fuck's her name?
Simone Biles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
thought Trish looked
Well, Nikki Bella coming back.
she looked great. I think she
Some ring rust.
yeah. I thought she didn't look like she had aged a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was in great shape.
When you my body type versus your body type, and I'm not being Sean, I'm being wrestler A and you're wrestler B and wrestler C's over there. We all need to train to work differently, right? To suit our style, our body. We can't expect all the men or all the ladies. Let's just take this example because we're talking about Nikki. We can't expect all the ladies to work the same, right? They have to be trained to respect their style and to perform in their style.
You're not going to get Io Sky to work like Warlord.
Yeah, because there was a point like Nikki was fighting to get someone up for the backdrop and it landed awkwardly. I'm saying, why is a power move happening? I'm looking at her body, high flyer, sure. Speed, sure. Why are power moves being attacked?
I think because Natalya probably trained her, and that's more her that's
right.
kind of her style.
Mm-hmm.
The other, who's the tall girl that's with Gable and them? It's a really pretty girl. Is her name Dupri, maybe? I don't know. What is her? I'm so bad with names.
I'm bad with names, too.
Do we know, Steve?
Dupri. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maxinne.
okay, I was right.
Maxinne Dupri.
I saw some clips of Maxinne, Nikki, and Natalya working down at Natty's school.
Mm. And?
I was really surprised that Dupri's looks like she can go too. I finally got to watch. Is it Ruca? Is that her name?
Ruca.
Ruca. She worked in In Evolution. She was on that
Evolution.
paper. In Evolution, she was on that paper, yeah.
And you were impressed.
Super athletic.
Yeah.
Crazy body. Just as far as like an athletic, long-limbed, small waist.
Right.
Very Rhea-ish kind of body. Charlotte's kind of has that body, but she's not. Rhea's just got like a different. Rhea almost looks like a woman that's does like is a butterflyer, like a swimmer. Like
Swimmer because of the broad
broad
shoulders,
yeah,
but
she got broad
narrow
shoulders.
body. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like she's a But I was impressed with Ruca.
So all in all, a good weekend for wrestling.
You know, I gotta
busy
put
weekend.
over one more person.
Go ahead.
I gotta put over Bayley.
Okay.
Bayley opened the women's pay-per-view on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
She was in a triple threat, and I just love when somebody fucking works like it's a shoot. And it was like the first 4 minutes of Steamboat Macho. Like everything she hit, she covered. She was trying to win the belt. Like everything she did, she covered. Everything cover. Because the only way you can win is you gotta fucking get a 3 count.
Made it feel like a contest.
Yeah, she's so talented. So sometimes she gets. I mean, I think she had a kid. I know she has an injury. I mean, but I think that I saw her work against Sasha in that Brooklyn NXT woman, the first woman main event ever. And they've just absolutely rocked it. And I've been a huge fan of her since. And this is when she was kind of doing more of she was kind of doing like a Britney Spears kind of, when she was like early videos. And I remember it was the first time I saw 2 young girls walking by me in the crowd, and they had Bayley shirts on. And I had never seen that before. And I popped so hard. I was just like, wow. Because that was kind of like the kickoff of this new female.
The emphasis on a women's division.
Yeah. And why it was so important. And I thought that card was really entertaining.
Kev, you're liable to be on every female wrestler's locker with a picture of Kevin this week after your glowing reviews.
No, I mean, I just enjoyed.
I'm not saying you're insincere. I'm saying that.
No, but I've watched so much men's, like, but when I was in the ring and in my prime, like Deb was the only one we had. You know,
Alundra Blaze, Masai,
yeah, it was Deuce. It was Deuce, and that was it. And she had to basically to make her coin, she had to go over and almost shoot fight in fucking Japan. So I mean, I would love to have seen Deborah worked, in this, in her prime with this group of girls, ladies.
Mm-hmm. Who were her feuds?
Bull Natanka.
Bull Natanka, that's what I'm thinking of, right?
And then she had Faye. They were bigger girls.
Yeah.
She really didn't have. She had Luna. That she could work.
Again, that was a crazy style there.
Yeah, it wasn't anything that aesthetically that was.
No.
But,
So, a good weekend, and I had one further thing I wanted to bring up regarding this weekend, and that was Goldberg's son. who was
Gage.
involved for just a second. Do you think there's a door there for his involvement? He plays football, college football.
Colorado.
Okay, right.
Plays for Dion.
And how young? He's pretty young, right? So
I think last year was his freshman year.
okay. So it would be a few.
Yeah, it is so crazy because I remember when Bill sent out his the picture of him when he was born, and it was Bill's like hand turned over with his forearm showing, and his son was sitting like right, he was just a little peanut in Bill's hand, and then to see a picture I saw later on where Bill and him are kind of chest to chest, well, not chest to chest, but kind of a face off in the locker room. I was just like, wow, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I remember like when T was, just started growing, and all of a sudden I turned around and just like I got this 6'5", 6'6" kid in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 19, I guess. Goldberg puts the brakes. I'm looking at a news item here. When he was on the Ariel Helwani's show, he disclosed that WWE had approached his son with an offer to join their Next in Line program. However, Goldberg was not impressed with the terms of the deal. Quote, they tried to give him an NIL, but when I found out how much they were going to give him, I put the brakes on that one, Goldberg stated. He added, quote, but they would be ignorant if they didn't have an idea that it could be in his future. This revelation comes just days after Goldberg expressed his own disappointment with how WWE handled the retirement match. So, well, there you go. So, WWE serious about hosting him one day. We'll see where the football career goes, obviously, right?
You know how I feel about retirement matches.
I do, but my question is it the company that says, hey, let's do this as a big retirement match? Maybe you agree to come back. Maybe, all right, I'll do a shot for you. And
nobody ever asked me.
But if they did, and they said, Kev, would you come back for another shot? We have a main event coming up, blah, 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 blah. And you said, okay.
I'll say no. You guys fucking put my 54-year-old ass in a ladder match. Eat a dick.
But if the company says, we want to play it up as a retirement match, are you going to say no?
Yes. Yes.
You'd say no, just let me go out and work? And that's it?
No, I wouldn't even get in the ring. Once you're done, I'm not getting... I just love... I posted something the other day of me lifting weights, and somebody said, looks like you got another one. Dude, doing 8 reps with a couple of 100 pounds on, it's not fucking getting in the... Like...
Was this the press? I think I saw this one. Was it a bench press? I'm saying bench press. It
was close grip. Close grip.
Whatever.
I don't do benches.
Right.
I did close this. That was a tricep day.
Okay. And I know you said in the comment, which I didn't understand, constant tension so nothing explodes or something like that?
Right.
What the hell are you talking about?
Constant tension is so. If you've ever seen somebody with dumbbells, and they go like this, they're doing dumbbell presses for the shoulders, and then they go up. And then when they get to instead of just doing here where it's constant tension, they go clunk, and then they
do that?
They hit the dumbbells together, which puts the tension on the two dumbbells touching and takes the tension. So the only way if you lock out the muscle, then you're basically now have taken the tension off the muscle and put it on the joint.
So the goal is to keep the muscle engaged the entire
Yes.
time, and don't give it to either the dumbbell or the joint or anything. The
Yeah,
muscle
just-
stays engaged the whole time.
You've been doing it long enough. You know exactly where you're at with it.
Right.
You know, you can feel the stretch, and you can feel the contraction,
Right.
and you don't have to.
You know what? I like to feel the stretch of my perfect gene, Kevin, because there is stretch, there is give. No more sucking in your gut during the button and zipper war. As you get just no more chafing, no more flat ass or otherwise unflattering fits. They have waist sizes at the perfect gene. They go from 26 to 50. There's lengths from 26 to 38. I own perfect jeans and I love them. Okay. And you can save yourself some money for a limited time because we're going to give you this special 15% off your first order plus free shipping at theperfectgene.nyc. But I just want to talk about the clothing again and the options when you go online between the different fits, the different colors. You can put together, God, there's got to be a zillion different combinations you can put together. And they're called the perfect jean, but their line does not stop at jeans. Okay. Everything I've tried that they have sent fits perfectly, gives you confidence. It's the perfect balance between looking sharp and feeling like you're in loungewear. The comfort. Trust me, guys, try them. When you try the perfect jean, you'll wear no other jeans. Okay. The perfect jean always has free shipping, exchanges, returns. You can have peace of mind checking out your perfect jean because it's risk-free. It's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectgene.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off their first order, plus free shipping, free returns, free exchanges when you use the code KLIQ15, KLIQ 15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectgene.nyc with promo code KLIQ15. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the show. Let them know we sent you. And remember, guys, fuck your khakis. Get the perfect gene.
That's a hypothetical, guys.
What's that?
Fucking your khakis.
Yeah, please. The zipper, you can fuck yourself up terribly. Kev, 1 million people are being deported this year.
Whew.
When I hear stats, statistics, this comes down to, can I do a little math right here? I'm
Sure.
going to break 1 million up over 12 months because his last I
Let's do
checked.
it over 365 days.
All right. 1 million.
Let's go on a daily. How many we got to do a day?
2,739.72.
So we're right now pretty much about 8 days into where we need to be.
What's the number we're at now, Kev? 16? 18?
15, 16.
And
Yeah.
we're how many months into the administration?
Almost
We're 7 months
halfway
into the year.
Yeah,
aren't we?
halfway through the 7th month.
Yeah.
So they got some.
Well, if that's the number we're using, 1 million, and we're at 2,739, we're only 497,261 off of our target right now. If our target's 500,000 by halfway through the year, we're only 497,000 away from that 500. What's going on? What's holding this up? Was that number a very scientific projection, or was it some idiot just espousing a number, saying, "Oh, get rid of the million"? Yes, 1 million. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket, 1 million. Is that how it happened?
I don't know. I think it's so hard for me to determine, because they just got rid of the Joint Chief of Staff.
How many senior military officers have been tossed?
God, they just dumped 7, either yesterday. I think yesterday.
Is it just to have the autocracy, to have total control, not to have anybody in positions that
I think it was
have too much knowledge.
I
and
think
know
it
what
was
they're doing too
another smoke grenade that, because we were at the beginning of the day, we were sending the Patriot system to Ukraine, and then by about 4 o'clock, the language had changed to we were sending the Patriot system to the EU, and they were paying for it. So I don't know what happened in between that. I think my favorite, my favorite of the week so far was, I was watching last night. I was watching the president speak, and he was talking. You know, I don't know about you, but like, if somebody's really fucking with me, and I've had enough, and I just say, you know what, man, this is. If I go, I'm talking going straight Popeye mode, because it's all I can stand, because I can't stand no more. I usually give that person 50 days. That's just a good round number.
Okay.
You know, like, okay, Putin, you're not doing what I want. You got 50 days.
And there's no science that 50th day is no more significant than the 48th day. It's just the number 50.
That's number 50.
Yeah.
So, so he went, he said, Putin's smooth. He said, he fooled Bush. Yeah.
I saw they fooled all, they named all the presidents.
He named all of them, and then went on to talk about 5 different phone calls that he had with Putin. And every time he got off the phone, he said, well, that went well. And then he told Melania, I think that went well. And the next day, he dropped the most armaments that they had in Kyiv since the beginning of the war. And she goes, I don't think it went too well. He goes, well, you're not going to fool me.
Right.
Wasn't the Bush famous thing, fool me once, fool me twice? What's fool me 5 times? Like,
right.
And you know what? He's not living in my head rent free. I'm just like, wow. Did we ever get the clip set up?
Not of Seth Rollins. You want the clip?
I want the clip of
the migrant workers
of our president of the United States. When I saw this, and I thought that he is going. This is going to make a difference. This
is in reference to the
point
deportation.
The deportation, especially of migrant workers that have been here for quite some time.
And hotel workers also. He talks about the hospitality industry. So apparently...
Do we have it? Can we play it?
It's right here. It's a different...
Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have, maybe not. And you know what's going to happen and what is happening? They get rid of some of the people because, you go into a farm and you look and people they've been there for 20, 25 years and they've worked great and the owner of the farm loves them and everything else. And then you're supposed to throw them out. And you know what happens? They end up hiring the people, the criminals that have come in, the murderers from prisons and everything else. So we're going to have an order on that pretty soon, I think. We can't do that to our farmers and leisure too, hotels. We're going to have to use a lot of common sense on that. I put out a statement today.
Could somebody on his could somebody on his fucking staff come in like every 3 hours and like put a fucking tablet in front of him and play that until he realizes, like, dude, like this, do you know how huge this would be? Like, you can, like I said, I wish the man no harm. I just wish he would fucking follow through with fucking something. Like, especially when it's a good idea. Like the tariffs are fucking rotten. Everybody knows the tariffs are rotten. You can hear Reagan say tariffs are rotten. So the last time he said he was going to fire the Fed guy, the market about crashed. He's back on that today. And then he's got Mexico with a 30%, Canada with
Canada
a 30,
now, yeah.
Canada with a 35%. That just about crashed the markets. It's just like
the announcement of the day is whatever he does is arbitrary, and whatever he decides is needed. If it's something for himself, for a power thing, then he'll come out and say the 30%. Then he'll wake up the next day and they'll be like, have you seen the markets? And then he'll say, no, that doesn't work. Apparently now ICE, without seemingly any kind of probable cause, can throw you in zip ties in the back of a van if you don't have some paper on you, whether you're a citizen or not. But the however many hundreds of thousands working on the farms, we got to find a way to keep them, because if they get deported, the farmers are going to hire murderers.
Well, they've already ran off. So now we've got crops that are failing, that aren't being harvested. And he ran on the middle class and below, that he was going to get them out of Biden's quagmire of fucking not being able to fucking feed their families. And in the last 6 months, the dollar has dropped in worth by 10%. It's the lowest it's been valued since 1977, when I was a senior in high school. So even if the market is, I think the S&P right now is up 5.3 for the year. Guess what? If the dollar's down 10, you're to -4.
I was just going to say it offsets what any kind of gains that
so
you
it's,
have. Yeah.
I swear to God, man, if all he needs is your fucking loyalty, dude, put me in. Put me in a little office down the hall from you. I won't talk shit about you. I'll be as loyal as fuck. But I will fucking, when we sit around the table, I will open my fucking mouth.
Then you're going to be seen as disloyal.
No, I'll say, because it's like anything else in life. When you got somebody that's booking and they're booking 1,000 things, and you go to them, man, what was that really fucking good idea you had? Remember? No, tell me. When you were going to let the fucking guys that had been on the farms for 30 years, like you were going to let them stay so they wouldn't have to deport them, and we could work out a system and an order on that. And then that way, like they wouldn't have to hire like the scum that we really need to get the fuck out of here. Remember when you came up with that? Because if you don't, sir, I have a clip right here of you saying it. And it's not AI. And he would go, maybe we should do that. And then 2 days later, it doesn't get done. And you say, remember that fucking idea you had 2 days ago? And you said it was a great idea. And then finally it'll get done. And then you go to the next thing.
That might not be unlike the Biden administration toward the end. There might have had to have been some reminders as well.
Well, I just think that they just had to get the two guys to keep moving Bernie around.
And Kev, how about a little Florida man Jersey guy?
Okay.
How about two headlines, one depicting a Florida man's activities, one depicting a Jersey guy's.
I know you're going to throw me a screwball because I've been fucking on fire
You've been
lately.
on fire, and let's see what we have. I do not look for any kind of trickery or chicanery. I look for entertaining headlines. All right, first one. Man arrested for burglarizing film festival, stealing $6,000 in equipment.
All right, that's already New Jersey, but go ahead. We don't
Second
have
headline.
fucking
Well,
film
no, this
festivals. We don't
this
have
might
film
throw
festivals in fucking in Florida.
Us.
No.
Man dubbed the Nail Bandit accused of sabotaging fire rescue vehicles with sharp objects.
Yeah, that's absolutely Florida.
That's a Florida guy puncturing the tires of all the fire trucks in his town.
And then going and lighting his fucking wife's
his own
mobile,
house.
his mobile home on fire.
All right, Kev got it again. First one.
You can't go artsy and fucking throw in Florida.
Max Colazzo, a Montclair man, burglarized the Montclair Film Festival and stole $6,000 in equipment. What did he take? Let me see here.
Looks like
it just says electronic devices. Walked in with a messenger bag, began filling it. And,
wasn't he the third match on All In?
And then our friend in Florida, the Nail Bandit. Let's see him. It's the Okeechobee County Sheriff's Office arrested John Starnes. There he is.
Looks like a character actor, doesn't he?
He does. He looked like he'd be great in like a P.T. Anderson film or something. He threw sharp objects at fire
Any
vehicles.
of the Chicago gimmicks.
Oh,
Chicago,
like Shameless or
no,
The Bear?
no, the Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago Law, any of those. He's got that look of
He's got a Chicago sensibility.
Put a captain's hat on him and fucking put him by pumper truck number 3.
David Mamet's writing a
Give him a
play
line
about him right now. But anyway, Kev, he's been doing this for 2 years, attacking the fire vehicles with sharp objects. Okay, that's
He
Florida.
hates these fucking tires.
It's these cans. Kev, if you're working with sharp objects or maybe anything where you need protection on your feet, BRUNT. BRUNT is the brand that I want to introduce people to. If you haven't been listening to the show, I have a pair, okay? I have my BRUNT boots. Did I go for fashion before function? Yes, I did. I'm not going to be lifting a cinder block anytime soon. But my pair, they're black with the white stitching, white sole. They're extremely sharp. To use a term from your grandfather's generation, they're very sharp. The founder, Eric Gerard, grew up blue collar, and he started BRUNT workwear after his friends in the trades kept telling him the big brands had stopped listening, hadn't changed how they were doing their boots in 100 years. They would sell out to fashion brands. So his buddies encouraged him to start a brand built for them, and that's why BRUNT products are named after the guys he grew up with. The boots, the pair I have is, it is, I did say it is fashion forward, but it's extremely comfortable. Okay. I mean, you right out of the box, you don't have to break these in. That's the thing. No long, painful periods where you have to work in these until they become comfortable. They're built to perform, whether you need waterproof, safety toe, soft toe, pull on, lace up. They've got options that can handle whatever job site you're working on, okay? And they stand behind what they make. You can wear them to work, and if they're not right for you, you send them back. I don't know any other brand doing that, by the way. And we're going to help you, too. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at BRUNT when you use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com/KLIQ and use that code KLIQ, and you're going to be good to go. They're not just about work boots, by the way. They have a full range of high-performance gear built for tough jobs, weather-resistant jackets. They're durable and reliable. BRUNT was tired of the workwear brands, so they would see companies cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up, all right? They built something better for you. Take advantage of it. They're insanely comfortable and built for any job site. Remember, limited time, our listeners get $10 off BRUNT when you use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com, use the code KLIQ, and you are good to go. And after you order, they're going to ask you how you heard about BRUNT. Tell them it was us. For Christ's sake. Thank you, BRUNT.
I wish I would have got those dark brown ones.
We can still make this happen.
Well, now my problem is, so if you live in Florida, especially if you live by the beach, so when we first moved down there and we built onto our house, I built shelves in the garage, and I figured I could keep my boots and tennis shoes and shoes and shit on there. So what happens is after about, I'd say, a year of just sitting out in that salt air, they just dissolve. You'll put them on, they'll be fine. So I go to the Hall of Fame this year. I have a pair of, I don't know, they were Stacy Adams, just a pair of black shoes, and I walked around in them a little bit, and then I walked. So now it's over with, and I've got to walk all the way back over to my car's my driver's like fucking a mile from where I'm at. And as I look down, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I see like these shoes are dissolving on my feet. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how long has this been going on? Like, was I in this tux all night? People going, what the fuck's with Nash's shoes? Like, why does Nash have these fucking
Hilarious.
ratty fucking falling apart shoes? But I didn't realize they were falling apart. And then when I got into the Westgate, the whole fucking toe part of it like fell down. So I had to kind of like scoot my I was fucking so embarrassed. So finally I had socks on. I took my shoe. Once I got out of the lobby, I took my shoes off to go to the elevator. And I'm thinking like, oh, fuck. And I just walked over to a trash thing and just dumped them in.
Yeah.
So that's what would happen. See, I don't have any place to put, like my Jordans are in boxes and they're in T's closet, but like a pair of 15 or 16 boots like that, I mean, shit, I could park a car.
Yeah.
I just don't have I don't have the space for them, and I definitely don't fucking work, and so, and I mean, I just don't have. I wish occasionally it was, it was tempered enough for me to wear them, but
Right. In Florida, man.
yeah. Even when I travel, I mean, it's like I get off the plane, I go out, I get in a car, I go to the hotel, I go from there to someplace to eat. I mean, it's like if it's 8 feet of snow, it's someplace that's been shoveled. So.
All right. Back with Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. And Blue Chew has been a huge part of our life since this podcast began because it's important and it works like any of the products that we endorse. And Blue Chew was maybe even the first to get in line. Guys, we enter the room dick first, okay? So this is important to make a good showing. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet. It's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like someone gave you downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership, okay? What are we talking about? We're talking about getting the best pump for your buck, for your tool down there, okay? You get your meat telescope extended. The copy's actually, my meat telescope saw God and winked. So, guys, the bedroom is not just about performance, all right? And this Blue Chew product is not just about repairing performance. It's about legacy, or third legacy, as it were. It's about confidence. It's about just being ready to go when you get your calling, okay? They're going to talk. Your girl's going to talk. She's going to tell her friends, don't you want some good advertising? Don't you want to be spoken about the right way? Well, Blue Chew is going to help ensure that happens whenever it goes down. Nothing's going to make you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Go discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month free. And just use the promo code that we've got for you. And you know what? Pay $5 for shipping. And it's going to come to you. Promo code Kliq. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and important safety information. And thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring our podcast. Thank you, Blue Chew, for being here.
Thank you, Blue Chew.
Always. And if you would like to ask Kev a question like you're going to see our friends here, do go to KliqThisTV.com and join the 11 Soft Club like our first... Come on down. I'll be like Johnny Olsen. Wasn't that his name? Who used to call for the Price is Right? I can't remember anybody on Raw's name, but I remember Johnny Olsen. Ace Ramon. Do you think Roman was brought back too soon?
Not with the amount of injuries, no.
Not with the amount of injuries on the roster, they need to get him in. Okay, good point. Who else? Don Dugan. Disney World sells beer, don't they? Oh, the Vince analogy. That we're Disney, we're competing with Disney. Yeah, hell yeah. And I mean, Disney programming has commercials, and Disney movies probably have product placement in them. Come on, Vince.
I think that he was more talking about mindset than he was actual Disney selling beer versus us selling beer.
All right.
So we definitely weren't selling beer. I'm sure we were. I don't know.
No. Hi, Tal.
Hi, Tal.
You okay? We think about you. Glad you're checking in with us every week. Liette. I destroyed your last name, Liette, before. Could you tell me what is the tattoo you have on your ring finger?
Me, that's my wife's name. I hate jewelry.
So that functions as the wedding band.
Yeah, so I would be on the road, and when you go to the gym, you'd have to take your ring off and tie it through your sneakers. And then when you went to the ring, you had to take your ring off and tie it through your boots. And it was just like, and like twice I lost it.
Wow.
You know, and it was just like, because I'm taking it on and off, and my wife was just like, oh, you're taking it on? Would you leave it on the dresser? And I said, you know what, fuck that. And I went and got a tattoo.
Good
like there.
solution. Excellent.
Yeah, like here. Like there.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah,
Right.
what's that saying in your hand? That's my wife's name. So.
Can't take that off.
Yeah.
Thank you, Liette. Edgar Watson, does training against your own body weight without lifting work to build muscle, or is it more useful for toning? That's like isometrics, is he talking about?
Well, say if you're doing push-ups.
Yeah.
And you weigh 200 pounds, your body, if you do 3 sets of 20, your body will eventually get used to doing 3 sets of 20. And because you're not doing anything progressive, then it'll stagnate. You'll just kind of stay where you're at. So, I mean, I've seen guys that do dips and push-ups and pull-ups in prison and have incredible bodies because, you can always add, you can do
100 of them if you want.
Yeah, hundreds, yeah. So, but it's nobody has that kind of time unless you're doing time.
Right.
So it's just easier.
And ironically, Jelly Roll waited till he got out to do the training. When he had all the time,
the biggest problem you have in the joints, the nutrition.
Right.
It's fucking horrible. There's no protein.
All right, thank you, Edgar. Who else is in the house? Part of the 11 Soft Club. Kevin Gilball watched Sinners. You guys should do the opening song for one episode. That would be great. Haven't seen it, so
I don't think they'd approve us using their
appropriating the.
Yeah. Hey, you don't mind if we use this, do you?
Hey, Bret Hart didn't have a choice to have a retirement speech and last match. Bill was the main event and still isn't happy of the Bill hate coming in. Well, not everyone can have a retirement match, right?
No, but I think that the thing is, and I think people are missing the point of, if you're going to have, it's like a funeral. I'm going to be cremated. Nobody's going to see my dead body besides whoever, my wife, if she's still alive. You know, anybody else that needs closure, fucking watch a Vinny Vegas match. But, and I know that going in. So, but if part of the your final resting is the viewing, and they put you in the casket with no makeup on, and you look pretty rough, you know.
That's the final image people have of you. I get
so
it.
it's, and I think that,
understand.
and from I watched the whole thing, and I thought, I was very touched. I thought it was a great speech.
I did too.
You know, so it's just like, I think, you know, instead of people saying why he didn't get his way, maybe he's pissed off because he's grown so much as a human being that the Bill Goldberg from '97 would not have been able to cut that promo, would not have the humility to cut that promo. And here he's done all this personal growth and grown as a human being, and you want to sit back and you want to say, like, God, I hope this fucking played out well. I hope it came across the way I wanted it to come across. What? It's fucking cut in half? Different, right?
Yeah, but again, was it planned to be there in its entirety? Could I, as the talent, have expected it to be there? I just don't know.
I've never fucking not been in the ring with a fucking with a camera in front of me with a red light and not have somebody go, give me something, a minute. Give me some kind of time cue to rap. Don't just fucking bail on me.
Right. Okay. Understood. EP, probably been asked this before, but in light of Goldberg being disgruntled about a proper send-off, who would you have preferred to have your last match against?
Nobody. I didn't want to have a last match. I had my last match against my buddy Flex for Big Time Wrestling.
Okay.
And he was basically retiring. And he wanted to lose because he had that championship belt forever. Mm-hmm. And he wanted to lose to somebody of significance, and he asked if I'd do it. And I said, yeah, I'll do it. So that was the Big Time Wrestling was the wrestling I grew up watching when I was a kid. So I beat him, and I became the world champion. And that was for all intensive purposes, I don't think I had another match after that.
Okay.
So my first match was live on the Night of Champions, a Clash of Champions for Turner, and my last match I won the World Heavyweight Championship of Big Time Wrestling, which was the promotion that I watched when I was a kid.
Detroit.
So
Okay.
I couldn't have had a better match than the one I had with Flex, but I didn't. When I determined that I was going to retire, I just had kind of got the go ahead to start training again after another injury, and I said, man, fuck this. Like,
Yeah.
And my whole thing is this. I remember when Paul came back, and he worked in Saudi Arabia, and I think it was Taker and Kane wrestled Shawn and Hunter, and Paul did that up and over Harley race that he's always done in the corner.
In the corner. Yeah.
And he tore his pec. I mean, tore his pec completely off. And that's what happens when you don't fucking do shit night in and night out. And it's just like, that's all I always loved this one. Hey, we'd love you to come do this show, and, could you, like, I've went to shows before that are independent shows, and I get there and they don't have steps
To the ring?
to get into the ring, and they want me to cut a promo in the ring. And I'm like, you don't have any steps. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Huh.
Like, wait, you want me to sit on my ass? Like, so I tell him, I said, well, I hope you don't mind. I'll be cutting it from the curtain.
Right, from the ramp, yeah.
Yeah, you dumb fucks.
All right, who else is in the house? Someone wrap us up. Instagram, hello, Mr. Nash. There was talk of Sting being the third man before Hogan made the heel turn. Had this happened instead, could the NWO still have worked? Thanks in advance.
I don't think it would have worked as well because Steve had never been to New York or WWE. And the fact that Scott and I came in as invaders, it only made sense that the third person would be basically the stamp of the WWE.
Right. That's true. Yeah.
And Hogan had never been heel, and it was...
that was the sauce. That had to be the sauce.
I mean, it's...
Yeah. Kliq, this is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2025, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you want to do another one?
Have we already done this for 3 years?
Customer service now.